Let's see, today is Wednesday, and it is, is it May the 7th? I think it's May the 7th. I don't know, I'm off. It's been a wild week here at the Norton house, and I'm just trying to get everybody through. I haven't checked them, well, obviously since the last video I posted, which was a couple weeks ago. I'm taking a little risk today. I'm out here in shorts. I probably don't recommend it, but we'll see. These hives have been a little aggressive too, so I'm probably pushing it. Uh, we're into the first week of May, and we've obviously we've been having a lot of moisture. It's been a really good May or spring for us here so far, and we're excited about it. So I got clover coming up. I planted about an acre worth of clover out here. Even though we're on 22 acres, I planted about an acre of clover, or maybe it was like 2 acres worth of clover, but I definitely planted also wild buckenbird seed and wild bird seed. And so we're excited to see where that goes. All right. Well, we've got a lot more bees up top. Last week when we checked this hive, hi mama, hi, hi. Okay, last week when we checked this hive, we were starting to see some action up here, but nothing to write home about. We did have actually some eggs, larvae, and brood up here in the upper chamber. I did put this box on specifically at the suggestion of my mentor. My mentor. Um, he said as many bees as I came through winter with, they were probably going to move pretty quick and might be ready to swarm if I didn't do something. So let's see if anything I'm doing is working out here. So I'm reversing my hive again. Normally for me, I go from the other side this way. So this will be frame 8. And frame 8's got bees on it. It's got about a quarter worth of honey on the back side, and it is 80% or more full on the front side. No eggs, larvae, and brood, but that wouldn't be expected. And the honey is pointed to the inside so they can get to it more quickly. Frame 7 is 80% honey on the back side. And they're just drawing this side out. There's nothing to write home. There's a little bit of honey in the corner, but nothing to write home about. Most of the honey is on the back side here. Let's see. So that was 8, 7, so 6, 5, and 4 are seeing very little to any action. 3 has a little bit of comb on it, but again, nothing to write home about. 2 has some comb on it. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I didn't have eggs, larvae, and brood up here. I know I did in the other one. And then the last frame will be mostly all honey. Yeah. So honey, and I put the honey to the inside so that they can find it pretty easily. A lot of bees in here, though. A lot of bees. For some reason, I thought I had eggs, larvae, and brood on this one, but I know I do on the other hive. So, I have 2 choices now. I can kind of leave this as is, which is I think what I'm going to do. I think what I could also do is pull this box off and just prepare to put some supers on, but I don't want to give them any incentive to try to swarm. Again, I'm not, if you follow me, I'm not trying to prevent swarms this year. I am testing out a theory, which is I have a swarm trap out front and I've got some swarm commander in it. And everybody swears by swarm commander. They say if there's a swarm nearby, you'll get it. So I am happy and hopefully hoping to capture a wild feral swarm. One thing I do keep doing wrong out here is two things. One, I keep forgetting to weigh my boxes. Now, the last 2 weeks I've remembered, but generally speaking, I forget to weigh my boxes. You should be weighing your boxes so that you know what kind of weight you're putting on and making sure that your bees are, it's just another way of like tracking how well they're doing. So I keep forgetting to add weight. What was the other thing? I had two things. It'll come to me. I keep forgetting that. I'm all nervous now because I got sandals on out here, or shorts on out here. So yeah, the one thing I need to remember is that I need to weigh them for sure. Okay, so frame 8 in this case is what you would expect. It's mostly pollen with some nectar. They're filling it out quite nicely with nectar though. We've had a bit of a wet spring, wetter than I've had in the past. So I'm excited. I think we're going to have a lot of flowers out here. If this video comes off louder, you might see it my chin here. I've added a microphone because now I'm a professional fucking YouTuber. Sorry, watch the language. Professional YouTuber. All right, so what we've got up here is a lot of nectar, pollen. I see some drones. No eggs, larvae, and brood, and you really wouldn't expect to. A lot of pollen and some new nectar, so that's good. That's frame 8. All right, frame 7. That is a fully drawn out frame, end to end. And last week we talked about that. We had a lot of brood in this chamber. So I wouldn't expect to see her up here. Perfect honey, nectar, pollen, some drone brood. And what I'm looking for today more than anything is not only, just making sure everything's good, which it is. I'm also looking for any signs of swarming. And so, like I said, I mean, I'm gonna let them swarm if they swarm. I know that there's a lot of my mentor has got to be getting driven nuts by me because I'm open to letting them swarm, and I know I can't guarantee a recapture. But if Swarm Commander's as good as it says, I should be all right. All right, in this one, we've got a fully drawn out frame that has started hatching some baby bees. It's got some drone brood, no queen cells. Oh man, this backside end to end laid out. Like that's a perfect laying pattern. And that's in the upper box. That's in my second box. In here again, we've got pollen stores, honey nectar, good resources for the bees. And we're excited about that. All right. The spring has, like I said, it's been a little wet. In this frame, we've got a lot of eggs, larvae, and brood. Yep, it's pretty laid out, which means she's come back through and laid this out. I've got some what appear to be kind of either drone brood or emergency queen cells. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, this has eggs, larvae, brood. She may even be, I should be keeping an eye on her. She wore most of her pink paint off, so I have a hard time seeing her. If you're ever trying to get your bees to move, just blow on them. Yep, this is laid out all the way end to end. She's just a rock star. This queen is so strong. This hive is going to have a massive population boom here momentarily. I mean, already I've got all my frames full of eggs, larvae. This frame has been hatched out, and it does not look like she has been back through, but you can see there's brood on the outside and open comb to the middle. Kind of same thing back here. You got good brood pattern, but it's a lot of hatching. Really good nectar and pollen stores. I mean, this second box here is already looking super strong. And the other thing I've been debating is pulling that box off and just adding a super. I don't have a honey extractor, so I don't know. This is only my second year of keeping bees, so I don't even know what it's like to extract honey yet. So I've still got that whole piece of the puzzle straight in front of us. There's some baby bees up here just putzing around. Baby bees are fuzzy. A lot of pollen on this one, not a lot of brood. I don't see any eggs actually. So this is mostly pollen here. We're down to frame 2. Man, this is just like, it is a cake of pollen. And then nectar, they are bringing in so much nectar already. And we're not even in the flow. I mean, I don't have a single flower hardly up here. I've had dandelions. We've had serviceberry that has bloomed. Our cherry tree bloomed, so a lot of them were poking around back there. Mostly non-primary sources of forage, if you will. We haven't even had the wild roses, or we planted some fruit trees out back for our anniversary. We called it our anniversary trees. We planted a hybrid apple that has several different kinds of apple on it. We planted a hybrid fruit that has some nectarines and apricots and plums and some cherries, and all on one tree, which is crazy to me. They're buzzing around me. They're already ready for me to be done. I'm trying to go through this kind of fast because they're just trying to do their thing, and I don't want to piss them off. So now, if I remember last week, both of these bottom boxes were sitting somewhere around 25, 30 pounds, somewhere between 27 and 28. I should have written it down before I got out here. Right now, oops. Okay. Right now we're 16.1. So we put on some weight. 17.1. So yeah, we're over 30 pounds now in this box. So they're building it up. All right, let's say hi to the bottom box, and then we'll wrap this one up. These girls are so amped up. There's something about both of my hives, man. They are both just super. They're not aggro, but they let me know when they're done with my BS. That's for sure. All right, frame 8. Expect it to be mostly honey, nectar, and pollen, and that is what we have. Building up back here, nice. They rebuilt some of the comb I tore down last week. No eggs, larvae, and brood. You wouldn't expect it. Honey to the inside in their box. So in other words, all the honey that they have faces indoors. The bees back here are working on the backside. This is already a pretty light frame. Mostly pollen. And just some comb on the back. They're starting to draw out. I can hear them getting louder. They're starting to get real pissy. All right, this is a brood frame, eggs, larvae. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Eggs, larvae. They've had some hatch out. They've got some drone brood, and in the center here, they've got eggs, larvae. She might be up here. There's some recently laid eggs. If you ever catch my videos, I always tell you look from the outside in on your frames because she's probably moving from the inside to the out. Whew, this hive is wound up. 70 degrees today, so I thought it was the best day to look. I have to leave town for a couple days, and I didn't want them to go another week without me checking on them. More for me probably than for them. Well, this has a half a frame of brood, and it looks like the other half is maybe just hatched out. I don't see any eggs down there, so half is brood on this side. Now, if you're new to beekeeping or you haven't taken the classes, swarm queen cells will be on the bottoms of the frames. Supersedure or emergency queen cells will be more up in the middle. So far, I haven't seen anything. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. Other hive over here, every time I've checked on them so far this year, they've had at least one emergency queen cell, which is funny because that hive is just so powerful. And if you can hear the bees buzzing around me, all right, so I want to be sure. I see some larvae and capped brood, but this is mostly hatched out. What's interesting about this frame is they still have not drawn out this corner. I don't know why. I'm almost tempted at the end of the year to put a new frame in there because they just are not drawing it out. This backside is a fully capped brood frame. It's probably 20% of the way hatched out, but you can tell it was fully capped. Well, that just wasn't very nice now, was it? You know, These gloves protect me, but they don't protect them. Okay. So this frame is a fully capped frame. Again, kind of weird that they haven't drawn it all the way out. You can see on all four of the corners, they're just still... This is a hatched out frame or partially hatched out frame, and they're just still working on it. And it doesn't look like she's laid any of it back, but I wouldn't expect that. So I bought a microphone. You can probably see the attachment on my chin. Hey, see, this is why I wear gloves even in the spring with these guys. They're pissy. This is just a resource frame. I got some pollen, some nectar, mostly packed with pollen. Yeah, this backside is just solid. That's a pollen cake on the backside. One interesting new fad, and I don't know how I feel about it because, you know, if you've seen anything about bees this year, you know we're in severe decline. I feel so blessed and lucky to have come through with two really strong hives. But they're on steep decline. But one of the things that people are talking about as a nutrition supplement is bee bread, which is pollen that has been fermented by the bees. It's what they feed their bee babies. There you go. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. There, see, I don't know if you can hear them on the microphone, but you should be able to by now. They are just all over me. I'm going to smoke them down a little bit. They're super aggro. Set that in there. Well, that's that hive. I didn't see any queen, but I'm not trying to stress them out any more than they're already stressed. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap them up. Plenty of eggs, larvae brood. We're good. No queen cells. I don't feel like we're at risk of swarming right now. I think we mitigated that. And for now, I'm just going to put them all back to their home. Now, one thing I also keep forgetting is to make sure that all my boxes are fully lined up. The other hive over there has like half a quarter of a box hanging over. It's kind of a pain in the butt. And things you forget when you get out here are crazy. All right, well, that's hive one. I think all in all, very successful hive. I'm excited to see where this hive goes this summer. We've got plenty of stuff out here for them, and it's only May the 7th or whatever, and we don't even have any nectar flow. So I've got big aspirations for these two hives this year. I just think they're going to be busting at the seams. Oh, see, I forgot to weigh my bottom box. But at least I know the top box is in the 30s. I can weigh this one real quick. I know that last week this one was around 18. Yeah, and we're already up. Yeah, we're up to 22. So we're up a couple pounds on this box up here. We're definitely up a couple pounds on the box below. And all in all, pretty rad little hives. And that is Hive 1 inspection for this week. May the 7th, 8th, whatever it is.